Brian Mudd, this is my cheat sheet for Thursday, October 6th. Look, a lot's been said already at this point, and there's nothing I'm going to be able to do right here that's going to really do justice to the greatness that was Steve Jobs. Here's the thing. You don't even have to have an Apple product in your house right now. You don't even have to have any interest or like for Apple. What you are watching this on right now, you're doing that because of Steve Jobs. No person over the last 35 years has touched our lives worldwide the way Steve Jobs did. He is the pioneer, the inventor of the personal computer. Perhaps Bill Gates, during the 80s and 90s, ended up doing more with it at that particular moment in time. Steve Jobs ultimately built the largest company in the world, passing Microsoft's size early in 2010. But make no mistake, it was Steve Jobs and his vision for the world having a personal computer. You know, much like a lot of American success stories, he failed. He was kicked out of his own company. He had a short-sighted board of directors. He came back. He took a company off the scrap heap. He took a loan from Bill Gates. Apple was on near death's door. Microsoft and Bill Gates lent him the money to keep Apple going in the late 90s when he came back to the company. The rest is history. See, the difference between Steve Jobs and so many other great technology pioneers is people had a great idea. You know, we talk about the flash in the pan stories like America Online, how they were so great, but then they fell. Yahoo, so great, and then they fell. Palm invented the smartphone, and then they failed. See, the difference with Steve Jobs, with Apple, versus all of the other technology companies that come and then fade, is they have a brilliant idea, and a brilliant idea alone, and they execute it until they can't execute it better than somebody else, and then they begin to fade away. Steve Jobs was the best at everything he ever took on. He built, eventually, the best personal computer. He invented the laptop. He builds the best of those now, too. He came up with the portable music player. I don't have to tell you that it was the best that had ever been designed. The smartphone, are we kidding? The iPhone has the highest customer satisfaction rating, not just of any phone, but of any electronic device in world history. Stunning. The iPad. See, every idea he had, he was the best at. Here's some things you might not know. Steve Jobs is also the most brilliant retailer in world history. It sounds like a big statement, right? Well, never has a retail store made more money per square foot than Apple stores. He does that better than Sam Walton did Walmart, for example. Pixar. You might remember his name associated with it. He created Pixar, the animated motion picture. Google, you're watching this on YouTube right now. It's a product of Google, right? He was the mentor to the two founders of Google. No Steve Jobs, no Google. Mark Zuckerberg, heard of Facebook? Guess what? Yeah, he was the mentor. See, everything that you take a look at in today's technology world, whether he had the direct, innovative thought that made it happen, he has ties to it. This man changed the world. This is a once in maybe multiple lifetimes type of person. I hear him compared to Edison. You know, that's probably a pretty good comparison. There just aren't many. So a true loss. And God bless Steve Jobs and his family. And we can only hope that this isn't the end of something that was special. I only hope that there are other amazing people like Steve Jobs, at least one, that can come up here out of, who knows, perhaps my generation, right? All right, a couple other things here real quick. Let's talk about smartphones a little bit further. We got a new flash poll out of USA Today about whether or not you plan on buying the iPhone 4S. The survey says it's looking pretty good for the iPhone. Keep in mind that the iPhone right now has about 28% market share for smartphones. 46% of people polled, not would-be smartphone buyers, but just people polled said that they would buy an iPhone 4S, 46%. So that's a lot. That shows they could gain a lot of market share here with this new product, regardless of what the reviews have been so far. 33% of people plan on buying an Android device. That suggests that maybe with the iPhone, Android will fall in market share to iPhone. 16% still say they have no interest in a smartphone, and 5% say they want a BlackBerry. Do with that what you will. Nobody else was even measurable above 1% on here. Speaking of Android and iPhone, we got new numbers, and they continue to gain market share. Every other smartphone on the marketplace that's not an Android device or an iPhone is losing market share. Every single one of them. We're getting down to where seriously now it's only a two smartphone race, and Research in Motion is still well under 20% market share and losing all the time. So, I mean, really, they're going to have to save their company fast if they're not going to fade into the sunset. Here's something for you. Palm Beach County Real Estate, and I'll leave you on this thought for today. Palm Beach County Real Estate, 2,610 homes were sold last month. All right? So there are homes getting sold. If you think that you can't get yours sold, why aren't you on the 2,600? Ask that question. But beyond that, here's a stunning figure. A record percentage of those homes were bought with cash. 63% to be exact. Over 1,600 of the 2,600 homes purchased last month, Palm Beach County, purchased for cash. So there are deals getting done, but man, is cash ever king. By the way, one of the things to consider, we're hearing more stories about people who are paying off all of their debt, and then they're having trouble getting credit if they want it longer on down the line. More about that in the future cheat sheet, but remember that you always need to keep your credit going, even if you have all your debt passed off. I'll have other tips on how you can do that without really taking on debt in days to come. But that's the cheat sheet for today. We'll see you tomorrow.